Okay. So, welcome everybody for the Sharada's Lekhan class. So, this has been a long time when we were planning to have this calligraphy class for Sharada, because we know that the script is an art, and we are basically encouraging all the students to basically learn this calligraphy script and then take it forward in their own way. We have many good artists in our team. We have, I'm proud to say, we have Sunil Mahanuri ji, we have Suresh Kardar ji, who have been really working very great in terms of their presentation, the way they have been writing the script. Suresh ji will talk about more about his work. So I will not take much time, but I actually there were 40 students who had accepted this, but I see only 8 to 9 students have joined. But we will have a recording session. We will share it after the class. So now, without taking any time, so Surejji will basically has been with us from more than 2 years, and he will talk about his. He has completed the work on Bhagavad Gita, complete Bhagavad Gita, beautifully written in Sharda Lipi with a beautiful calligraphic art. So I will hand over to Surejji, and Vinanakaji, you have to make him an admin so that Surejji can share the screen also.
Yes. Yes.
Over to you, Surejji.
Okay, Mara. Thank you so much. Namaskar, everyone. Once again, let me try to share my screen and then we will start.
Yes. You can
Um,
do it.
okay, all right. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, Namaskar, everyone, once again. This has been a humble, actually, beginning for all of us, I think, with the core Sharda Team Foundation here. And everyone has taken this journey in his own way. I do not know the team who have joined here. So is everyone well conversed in English or Hindi, or which medium you want to actually converse? I would like to hear from you. Actually, this is going to be a kind of a conversation session open for everyone to talk and discuss and have a very conversation based session. So please don't hesitate. If Hindi is okay, we'll do it in Hindi, or if English is okay, please let me know.
There are few students who may not be good with Hindi.
All
So I
right. Okay.
request, like, you can be little bit slightly Hindi
That is
also,
okay.
but yeah, yeah.
That's all right. Okay. All right. Okay. So then, without further ado, I think we'll start today's day actually, as you have been hearing on this one. So this is about what we call is the Sharda Lekhan or Lekhan. And typically this will address, we try to actually focus more on the writing part of it, and how does one actually get into understanding the script more in detail on the words, alphabets, everything in that respect. So what will happen there? So basically, as you see, we will cover a lot of details in this session. As you see from the introduction, first of all, actually, a few days we'll take deep into the beginning part of it, understanding the script, where it developed from, and how has the alphabets, let's say, how they took shape, and today's up till today's date. So how beautifully it is being written today, and then some of the details about how the letters would be grouped. There are writing styles on each and every, let's say, Akshar or the alphabet, and then the measurements of those or the patterns of those, and when you combine those letters, how those letters will be combined and written. Sometimes they will be a little bit shorter in size, sometimes they'll be full size or something like that. So that all we'll cover in here, and then it is all up to us. Actually, we have, each individual has his own creativity, as I understand. So it's up to us, in your way, whatever way you see, you can actually make it more beautiful or make it more personal to yourself. and to the larger audience, I think that will be beautiful. I think the idea and the outcome of this session, maybe we would like to see from every participant, once we get through this journey, maybe we'll try to see how they see from their eyes, how they can actually come up with their own scripts and some of their art form or writing form, or in whatever way they want to actually present. So anyhow, so without that further, let's say we go, this is what we will cover. We'll cover a couple of days. I think first day we will we'll do all the introduction of that, and then ultimately at the end of the day, I think I will share some materials also with you that okay, how and what I'm using. And there's nothing, no special, let's say, tools or something used. It's up to us. So in whichever way we can actually see ourselves, we can use normal daily routine based material that's available, not anything special. And then it's up to the creativity of the person actually who can actually bring up the text in its own form and shape. So okay, so here is what we all know. I'm hopeful that everyone knows Sharada from the script, and they are conversant with all the swar, vyanjan, etc., all the letters, how they are written, and that's the basic requirement for this course. And then we will take it onward. So we're not going to learn the language here, but only from the script, as we said. So I hope you see the right side of the screen where you see the Devanagari. So this one, if you see the letters when they are formed, there is a particular angle for each letter, and the strokes are indicated where to start and where to end and all that. So this is for each and every letter. Actually, there is a proper way of writing. Not only this, that the beginning and the end for the letter, where it has to start, where it has to end, but also where, how it would be placed on the format of the letter. So similarly, then we dive deeper into the Sharada Akshar Mala. And that's what you see here. Initially, for example, when we see this could have been, actually, I'm not saying this is or this was, but this could have been. Normally, as you take a pen, a normal pen, any ball pen, pencil, or anything with a round shape tip and all that, you would like, maybe we would all write like this. It's a very simple form of writing. There's nothing special about it. All we understand is that okay, this is letter K, this is letter K, and all that. So that's how the letters are there. Again, the letters are complete, but how beautiful it looks, or how, let's say, clean it looks, it does not invite everyone to go through this or read it and all that. It's just the letter is there. So then some more, let's say, when the letters are combined together, you can see on the right side, this is the printed form, and on the left hand side, written with the hand, it would be on the normal paper. So anyone would write. So this is Bhagavad Gita shlokas there. But then if you see a little more effort when someone puts into writing with a proper pen, which has been cut, the nib has been cut into a particular angle or something, and then you see the letters are forming in a way, it looks quite inviting and interesting. That okay, yes, now it looks beautiful. The letters are looking somewhat, let's say, beautifully put there, and it looks that okay, yes, I want to see this, I want to learn this, I want to understand how it is written. If we go back again, look at this page, and look at this page. So I feel from my personal experience, what I see is when I see this kind of a left-hand side on this page of this Sharada writing, I myself get, I want to see that, okay, how this curve here, okay, is written. Can I write like this? So how many times the same letter is, let's say, produced, and it's in the similar form and shape. But then if you go back and try to see the letters, similar letters when you find here, there is a little bit of differences and all that. It does not actually give that much, let's say, interesting way of the letters there. Anyway, so this is how you will see that the angles are formed when the material is cut properly and then the writing is done, just to make it more interesting. Then you see maybe one more snapshot of the letters. I want to show you something that would be interesting. Anywhere when you see the letters are written, almost everything, the size of the letters and the way they have been placed actually is having a more kind of the measurement is, you can see the person who is writing, the he has some idea of the measurement of the letters, that how much should it be written when it is a combined letter, how much width it should be, or the height it should be, and the width it should be, so that it does not look too different from a singular letter when it is written with a single letter. The spacing of that, or the width and the placement of that, it comes together and does not look too odd, actually. So when we try to write in a normal way, actually, sometimes if I write sh and if I write year followed by that, sh may be a little wide, year may be smaller, or maybe sometimes it can be equal, but we don't put too much efforts actually understanding that, how and how much, what should be the size, what should be the proper size of writing that, etc. And then this is, I wanted to show you this also. This is the very, this is, I think, the print is block print. When the printing is done, it's done by the block printing. The machines which were used as a press actually to make a print. And here what you will see is the top line, the Sharada, what we call is, as you see, this has the square edges on top. It does not have the cut like this on the angle like this. So the Sharada is very much horizontally square, and the rectangles and all that, the corners are angular properly there. However, when the alphabets are written, their edges are actually in a shape with the cuts, with the proper cuts there. So this is, I think, initial block printing method and the mechanism, because the machines were used like that, and they could not have actually put it like that because of the spacing that would be needed for a letter, because each letter had its own let's say the stencil was there, which was from the metal, and the metal was cut for one word. The metal was cut only for that, and hence just to place them together, actually whenever they had to be together, there should not be any space left so that they could actually sit besides each other. That's why I think the cuts were made straight, so that the alphabets could be placed next to each other properly without any further spacing, and hence the cut was not developed in the block printing. Perhaps that's my understanding on that. However, what you see is later on, you will see in nowadays we have the computers and all that, everything is properly written there because it doesn't need any machine cuts or anything. So anyhow, we'll come to that as well. So here I want to share with you a couple of things that we would commonly not actually pay attention, but there are actually letters which have a very common way of, there is a common element between the letters where we need to actually maybe think of that, when we are writing the letters, think of a common pattern or common element between those letters. And this is where you see the common elements, some of the hints there. It may not be all, but I'm trying to actually bring it to your knowledge, maybe whenever you're writing, so we all keep that in mind. For example, when we say G, M, Bh, now this is the Devanagari, this is not Sharada, this is Devanagari, but again, Sharada also has the similar patterns, so it is no different than what we see in Devanagari or Sanskrit. the combinations of the letters are similar to those. And here what we see is g, m, bh, n. So there is the half part of, for example, the m or the n or bh. So this is common, and the letter when we are writing m or g from the top to bottom, these are the common actually elements in these letters. So whenever we write these letters, that means we need to pay attention to this part of the alphabet when we write, so that the size is same and the way it is written is the same. Like ra, sa, ga, and kha also, here the ra is common or this is common. So again, you see the ta, la, r, and this after, for example, that sign is common. So this is a kind of a input for all of us, at least to understand that, okay, there are letters which have some common elements. Whenever we write, it is the same thing. For example, when pa, sha, pa, or na is written, the first half of the letter is common there. So that's how, if I write pa, for example, one way, then sha also, it will be the same. It has to be written the same way there. So this, I'm hopeful. I think we will share this document also later on. So this you can take as a reference also. Sometimes it will help. There is a lot of material available online though. You can always check online as well. But I'll help you to give some links as well where you can find these kinds of materials available online. Okay, I hope there are no questions so far. Any questions, please let me know before we move forward. Anything on the common element letters understanding, if there is any question in the alphabets understanding or anything so far. Okay, no questions, then we move forward. Now we come to the second part, which is now what I say is the basic form for writing that we use in Devanagari, Hindi, Sharada, Sanskrit. These scripts actually, you see, we have a few lines there what we write in actually. And if you see, commonly what we use as the headline, what is called the Shiroreka, and the baseline, which is called the Padareka. So between these two lines, generally we write all the letters, all the alphabets. So, and then you will see that, okay, some of the letters, which is the upper matra line, some alphabets like R, which is on the top actually when we put, so it will go up to that. So some of those letters, E and O may not, but actually R has to go on the top. So this is, when you learn more into the detail, then you will see that, okay, how those letters would be written. And then, yes, definitely the last line, which is the tal line here, u, and all those signs, re, etc., will be put. So that's for that. There is nothing actually beyond that. Definitely, in Sanskrit, there is the letters are not written on top of each other, but followed adjacent to each other. However, in Sharada, we do write letters which is written on top and the bottom when we are making the half letter sounds and all that. So there we still actually have to be careful not to actually increase or not to go beyond the space of the Padareka. So if there is a sh and ch together somewhere to be written, so we will write sh maybe only in the half space of this and then the ch to make it complete between the Shiroreka and the Padareka line. So this is how we will actually pay attention to that when we're forming our letters. And then comes the part on the pens and the cuts and the columns or whatever we do. How do we cut that? How do we write? Actually, you would see, I'm not in India, but I find it very difficult to get the materials available from the market. when I want to get the, let's say, the calligraphy pens, for example, from online, I don't get, we do get calligraphy pens, but they are for the Persian, Arabic, Urdu, and all that, or maybe English, which is a flat, actually, pen, flat nib. So those are available, but not the cut that is used for Devanagari or Hindi Sanskrit and the Sharada. So this cut is specially available only in the in Indian continent, I think, mostly. So whoever is in India, I think they can always go ahead and buy it online. But what I would suggest is, before going ahead and buying material from online shops and this and that, try to use the material at home. You can use the normal sticks, normal bamboo or something, cut it, make it in a shape. Don't worry about how much is the size and all that, but start writing with that. And then you will understand that, okay, if I'm writing with this, how big it is, how small it is. Should I make it more small, or how should I make it more thin or thick, or whatever we want to do? That is where you will come to the understanding of when you're writing. And then ultimately try to then perhaps buy something if you want to really pursue it that way. You want to use something on your own. So I would suggest not to go ahead and buy the material just beforehand. You may or may not use it fully, and sometimes the material is also not very helpful as well. In some cases, I've seen, sometimes I bought the material, but then I see that, okay, the nibs are not very fine. They cut the paper, and I have to make a lot of effort in making that usable, and still I cannot make it usable. But that's all going waste. So better is to use the normal wood or bamboo or anything that like that, at least to start with, until you really deep dive into that and want to take it as a, let's say, hobby or profession or whatever. Okay, any questions on this one? So basically, I did not talk about the cut size on the degree or whatever. This is basically, this is up to us generally. So it should not, we try to say, I have seen that, okay, this 22-degree angle, what they have mentioned here, it's for the writing, but cut does not matter. It matters how you actually hold the pen in your hand when you touch the paper, whether it should be what angle and all that. So that's all it matters actually. But definitely the cut has to be on one of the side properly done. That's what is important on that. And the degrees do not matter. So yeah. Any questions so far on this one? Because this is very important. You would need to understand this much in detail actually. Maybe at this time, I would like to show you something kind of, if you allow me, some have you seen this? You might get this ice cream sticks, right? Normal in the market. And what I've done is, for example, I have prepared.
It's like an ice cream stick.
Yeah, it's a normal ice cream stick. What you get for, if someone goes to the shops and try to buy something for the kids when they are doing some projects in the school.
Yes.
So they get all this material, right? So this one, it's a normal, very thin, nothing like this. So what you can actually, when I was doing this thing, I tried to see this one and you see the way I cut it actually. Here. And this is how a normal stick, I cut it. I made this one, forget this one. This is for my own creativity. But the point is that, okay, when you cut this like so. Okay. But so, in the sketching was also for diver. Sorry, was there a question? Okay, so what I'm saying is, yeah, so cut it like this, okay? It's a dip one, so anytime you dip it in the ink and start writing. That's it. And any size, for example, you see here, different sizes, couple of them. What I've done is actually why I made this like these, the handles kind of thing. when I cut this, and every time, then I'm trying to actually optimize on several things together at the same time. For example, when I cut this, I can make only two nibs out of this, one from this side, one from this side. However, if I cut into different, let's say, sizes, 4, 5 pieces, I could get 5, 6 pieces out of this. And then I try to use a normal bamboo, okay? And then I cut it at the top, you see here. And then I
Yeah.
can fit this inside, becomes a nib for the pen.
Oh, very good.
Simple things, actually, not too different. Just use your creativity, whatever way you want to do. So this is optimizing on certain things. Otherwise, if I use this bamboo, cut it, one nib from here, one nib from here, only two. But I can use several of these with just one bamboo and use different size of the nibs. So this is how I try to make my beginning, so to say. Okay. Any questions on this one? Cuts, definitely, as you see, straight cuts are there. The size, let's say here, if I put it this way, maybe you can make, you can understand the angle of the cut, you see.
Yeah.
It's almost, I think, 40 degrees or something, if I say. It doesn't matter, because when I'm writing on the paper, it is where and how I'm actually touching the paper, whether it is at this angle, for example, when I'm writing on the paper, whether it is on this angle, or I want to touch it like this or like this. So it is the way you will place your hand on the paper. So that's something that I wanted to share with you on the nib cuts. Definitely, you will see lot of material available from the market. Is like when you see the pens, normal pen, you get these ones, okay? And you will see the nibs here also. I hope you can see the nib properly, right?
Yeah.
This is a normal pen, commercial pen available. The nib is cut. So this one is the Devanagari cut, definitely the same cut as you see, but I cut the other one. But be careful when you buy the calligraphy material. Do not buy the calligraphy material which is good for Urdu, Persian, Arabic script. So that has the cut on the other side. So here what you see is cut is like this, and the other one has the cut like this. You cannot use that.
Surajji, I have posted one picture on the chat. This is what I use it actually. This is very readily available in Amazon in India. Does not cost more than 200 rupees or something. So this is what, and this is for
Okay,
three different sizes. This is what I have been using it.
very good. Okay. And then, yes, definitely, for example, what you see is the normal sketch pens,
Hmm.
right? This is very easy. You have these, the cut is already there. So you
Yeah.
see this is already the cut there, and you can write with this also. The only problem with this is unless you refill the ink, for example, once it is finished, then you need to buy one more. So it's a bit costly for most of us. It will cost a little bit more, and it does not last too long. So one has to be careful. If not used, it might dry up also. So these also do work. And then definitely some of the, let's say, more when you go into deep into this. I don't want to scare you, but uh, not to scare you. See this one, big box of the sketch pens. It is also available on Amazon, right?
Wow.
Now, what does it have actually is when you look at one pen, any pen of this, so it has two sides. Okay, one is having the round, normal round this side, and this one is flat. So when you open from the flat side, this one is flat side here, and the same cut there. And then this one, if you want, this is the normal size, normal nib. But this is when you actually go more into the deeper into that. So I don't actually suggest to go with that. I would like to tell you very simple things first to start with. Normal pencil. Okay, this is HB. I think this is 12B or something like that. You will get this in the market anyway. See here, normal cut. Here again, same thing. I just cut it at the same thing, and then whenever I'm using normal pencil to use for the writing. Anything you think of, your material, yourself, try to use as much what is available on hand, and don't go deeper into buying first. So try to use what material is available there. And definitely the normal column that we have, I don't know where I kept that. So normal column is like normal bamboo, and you cut that in a nib. So normal this bamboo, you make that pen. So I will show you in a while that one also. And that should be it. And definitely what you need to be having with you is the knife and all that. Be sure when you cut that, you use a sharp knife, not a blunt like I have, for example, two knives. I'll show you different knives. One is the normal knife where you use any knife at home. When you cut it, it might not actually cut it properly when you come to the edge of that. But definitely you want to use something which is, nowadays you have the cutters and all that. This will really make the cut very, very thin and properly there. So, but be careful using it. It's very sharp, so don't cut your hands. And initially, when I started cutting, definitely what I did is just by out of, let's say, back home when we used to make the pens and all that, I started making the pen and tried to cut when using my finger at the bottom, for example, and I started cutting and all that. And I injured my finger when I reached that. I did not realize that, okay, it is cutting my skin also sometimes. So just be careful with that. Don't put your finger underneath. So whenever you're holding, hold it like this and cut it as much when you're cutting. And then finally, when you're at the bottom, really, when you want to really use your finger underneath, be careful about that. So one advice that I would actually suggest when you're using that material. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, if no further questions, then I will show you.
If any student has any questions, they can unmute. You have been muted right now. You can unmute and ask questions anytime.
Or maybe if you don't, maybe put it on the chat as well. If you don't want to speak, or that you can put on chat also. Okay, so no questions, and then we'll see. This is an example of what I shared with you is on the lines when we are writing. Actually, look at this. This is a normal example there. So you have basically what we normally use is the upper matra line. So this is one, and then the baseline. So these are the two lines, and then you see in between there are two lines. So this is the four line. Basically, these four lines is generally used for writing everything. And again, what you see here is, look very carefully. Yeah? When you see this curve written, okay, the top Shiroreka is rectangle. The angles are 90 degrees. However, when you go to the bottom edge, okay, the curve is cut here on this side. So it means that even if they have used, for example, if it is written by hand, example sake, however, it is not. This is again the block print. But if someone would use it by hand, the hand cut pen, it's not possible to make this angle with the same nib and this angle with the same nib. It gets very difficult to make it, although it is possible, but it gets very difficult. You don't actually get too much attention on that, because when you're writing fast and you're writing continuously, you will get actually the cut like this, as you see here on the top. When we use the same nib, so this is the angle, as you see, same angle there. and that's what we write. So this one definitely, then immediately you come to know that, okay, this is not the handwritten or anything or computerized. This is definitely the block print, where the alphabet, because as a whole alphabet would have one block of iron, steel, or whatever as a printing mechanism, and then this cut was already made inside the block. However, when the letter is singularly available, the end of that is squarish. Okay, so this
Suresh,
is
one
how.
question I have.
So,
This six line, whatever you are showing, do
yeah,
we have some notebooks which comes like this so that students can practice?
I will share. I have made one small template for us. Okay, I will
Okay,
share
that
at
will
the
be
end of
great.
this session. I will send the template. It's
Oh,
nothing
oh.
actually. I just put the template in a PowerPoint slide itself, and we can
Oh,
use that. Actually, we take that one out, and
they
we
can
can
take
use
a
that.
print out and start
Yes,
practice.
yes, yes, correct. Yeah. But however, I would suggest. I mean, printing also not. I mean, too important actually. What is important is the size between the lines. When you, for example, if someone uses a normal, let's say, a notebook. In a normal notebook, when you see, I do not have a normal notebook here, but when you see a normal notebook has the rules are there, okay, and you take the first, let's say, two rules, which is 1, 2, and 3, okay, or 3, 4. You just make one more rule in between. You get 4 lines there to start with, like that. If someone has to use it as a rough, okay, before using a print and all that, and using that as a. However, we will still share the template, but just an idea. And there is one more thing that I would like to share is the graph paper. Okay, you can use the graph paper also in some cases where you want to actually be very consistent with the letter. Okay, use the graph paper. I will show you. I may perhaps send that as an example also. When you use the block of the graph, on that block of the graph, you see, you can put the letter properly there. Another one in the another box and all that, you get the right way of putting the letter. The important here is when you make strokes, actually, generally what we see is our strokes, one stroke, if I want to make a standing stroke, one stroke may go straight, another one may go a little left, another one may go right, or maybe have some wiggle or something. So that is where it comes with practice. You start with one. If it is not okay, you do another one. So basically, as you keep writing, it is all about practice. You will get that hang of that. What I've seen is when I write very straight, like 90-degree lines, okay, it gets tough. However, if you want to write slants, it's easier. So maybe you start with the slant first, easier way, and then once you get hang of it, because the flow of the hand also goes very easily like that. However, when you write straights, then you become a little more, I mean, you have to practice that very much. Okay. So this one as an example again, here, as I was saying, only this E matra or ra matra, this will only go, as you see, the A, O, A, etc. Everything will stand on this middle matra line, upper matra line here. Okay, but the rest, everything will go up to the end. O, etc. And any others, let's say, other matras. Okay, so let me see. Then I shared this material with all of you. There is, I think in the material, there is nothing else that I would like to share. Mm, but definitely, yeah, one thing for sure is the ink. Okay, it's very important. When we say the ink actually has, depending on its consistency, how it touches the paper. I would like to show you a couple of examples. So let me just try to on the screen, and so that I can see if I'm able to show you properly. I'll show you one quick example here. Look at this. That's it. I use the sketch, normal sketch. something to write. As an example, I was trying that sketch. And then see at the back of the page. Okay. So it goes through, the ink has gone through the page. It's a normal paper. It's the what we call is the sketchbook, the normal sketchbook. The paper is very thick. However, the ink has gone through on that across. But then when you see, for example, when I write with this normal ink here, it does not actually go across. See here, paper is completely proper, nothing there. So the consistency of the ink, what we're using, is very important. So what I was showing you, the one that has gone through paper is from the sketch pen, and the one that did not actually is the normal Parker gel or any other ink that is normal blue, black, or whichever ink you use. So depending on what paper you have, and then try to use the ink accordingly for the paper. Maybe at this time, perhaps I would like to share some of the works with you, if you allow me. Maybe I'll put the camera on the left-hand side so that you can see properly. Hold on a second. Let me know if you can see it properly. And this is what I use for myself. Don't get scared. This is a normal plyboard desk for me. So whenever I use this as a base, so that my hand is properly placed there, my angles there properly done. So this is some of the works that perhaps is it visible to you? Is it visible?
If you can bring it a little bit more to closer to camera. Yeah.
Okay. Like this, maybe?
Yeah. Like,
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
All
yes.
right. So look at this. So this is what I might have started with writing Om actually. See here. This is what I started with immediately as Om, how I would write it, and then tried to see these angles as I was talking about. And then we have done so much work on this one. And you see, this is when the inauguration of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya was there. So just made this one that day. This is Ganesha. This is Krishna. Shri Krishna Ainama. All that in Sanskrit and Devanagari. This is Sapt Shloki Gita, one, let's say, example of that. 7 shlokas. Okay. I mean, it's up to you, whatever way. Deepavali, greetings, nothing special about that. Sharada, 32 names of Ma Durga. Okay, normal sketch, normal pen, normal, what is called those pilot pens, anything. However, I use the column for writing rather than the pens. This is Shiva Shakti, Sadashiva Ishvara. This is the Vidya there, Maya. Alphabets, normal alphabets. Okay. Here, I'm showing you only these things. I don't know, this may inspire you perhaps in your own way, definitely. And there is, you cannot actually, one cannot teach you this. One can only show you the methods and all that, but what you will do is based on your own creativity, definitely. You see, so whenever you get time, you write so much, you do so much, and everything is there. So this is the infinity sign with the Ekadashi. All Ekadashi is there, starting from Safala Ekadashi, Putrada, Shaktila, Jaya, Vijaya. So I tried to see that, okay, maybe make a, this is the infinity symbol when it starts and then comes back, and then again it starts from there. So just try to use your creativity the way you want to do it. So I don't know whether this is right or wrong, but this is how I see. For example, whenever the Safala Ekadashi starts, we go through the whole cycle of the 365 days again, then Safala Ekadashi will be there. So just thought to put it this way, and that's how it is. Jai Shri Ram. Karagare vasate Lakshmi, Karmadhe Saraswati, Karmule tu Govinda, Prabhati Kardarshanam, etc. All the mantras there. Shuklam, Varadaram, Vishnum, Keshavaranam, Chaturbhujam. Whichever way you want to do, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Sakshat Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Saraswati Stotra, maybe a couple of shlokas from there. Ya Kundadev, Tushara, Sara, Apna mantra there. And this is something Mitrani Danadanine Prajanams. Ye apna, when my mother came here, actually, I went with her. So then just immediately after coming back, then I wrote this. Namaste Sharada Devi, very simple, normal. There's nothing too deep there. Another one. So you can do whatever way you want. So this is some of the works there. Definitely I started putting something in the blog, like, for example, what I started doing was, this was for myself. It helped me a lot. Every alphabet I took and then tried to put it in a way that, okay, how to write with the rest of the swar. Every Vyanjan with its swara, yeah. So cha, cha, chi, chi, etc. So this we had done the project also, if you remember, Rakeshji. So then, but I put it more in a form here. And then I think what Rakeshji was talking about is perhaps this is not, I have not shown this to even Rakeshji. So maybe I would take this opportunity to show you this. I hope you can see it on the screen properly.
Yes, beautiful. Yes.
This is all handwritten. Okay. There's nothing, no print, nothing. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, written by hand. Okay. I'm sure you all can do even more than this, better than this. This is only my humble contribution. What I do is I write first like this, as you see, this one. One page, one shloka. Okay, every page, one shloka. It's all complete, and now I'm doing this, the designing part of it, the borders.
Designing.
That's all. That's all it is, and I did not put any meaning or anything else with it. Just clean shlokas. That's how it is, and this is my life achievement. I should say that is the only good thing that I've been able to do with my life. Perhaps the best thing in my life, what has happened, is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, complete from shloka 1 till shloka. This is chapter by chapter. I have got almost 700 plus pages written for this, and every chapter I have kept in these small folders now while I'm completing the rest of this. And Rakesh, I'll be sharing this with you. I'll take a scan, and then physical copy also I will hand over. Maybe if there are any corrections or anything to be needed, so we can do that. That is for today. Any questions? I think we will start doing, I will share the template today, definitely. Then we will start doing the rest of the exercise. We'll come to the actual working part, I think, second day onwards. Let me see if there is anything else I put for sharing today. Yeah, this is what we already spoke about. And this is about the cuts of the pens, and these are the exercises that we might actually look into. This is what I was talking about, and that when we write, we have to be consistent in writing. When you write any letter, do the practice of that letter so many times that, okay, next time you write the same thing, it is actually produced the same way. And that's what this page is about. Okay, and definitely we spoke about this one, how the strokes are made, and all those things we need to actually pay attention to that. And this is what I started my life with. Actually, I started with home, and here is where I got more interested. Actually, this is what I see. Actually, when I write the home with the proper column, then I immediately found that, okay, yes, definitely, I think there is a method to this when you're writing. And why not, let's say, dig deeper into this to understand that, okay, whether there is science behind this or it is just out of the occurrence, it has happened. But definitely there is a proper science. I don't think there is any other language in this world which is more scientific than Sharada, Sanskrit, or Devanagari. There is no other way. There is no other language, I think, better than this. Because I write Arabic, I write Persian, I write Urdu. I know all those languages as well. But definitely the most deep and the precise, and what should I say, the more scientific language is definitely the our Sharada, Sanskrit, and Devanagari. Because they sound the letters when we write anything in Hindi, Sharada, Sanskrit, you write what you pronounce. But in Urdu or that Arabic, that Persian or that script, let's say, you can write something, but it can be pronounced in different ways. It's written one word, but pronunciation can be different. So there is no scientific way of writing in that. And this is perhaps these, I will share this, and then we'll go through the more detail in the letter formations. Any questions until today before we close? Are we on time, or we've taken more time, or some?
We are on time.
We are okay.
Any questions from students? Saraswati ji, you have something to say?
Next sessions will be the practice sessions, and we would like the participants actually to participate more on that one.
I think we need to have
Because
this
this is going to be a working session. It's not a one-way communication or something. So unless we see that, for until this week, maybe our participants, they can try to get some materials there. Only keep a notebook, ink, pen. That's it. And we start writing the letters. So try to use this as a guide, what I will share today, and then produce based on that at least the basic Akshar Mala, if you can, maybe one page of that at least. So next session, perhaps we'll start with that. We would like to see what the students have started with, because that will give me an idea on let's say how deep we can go and where to start with based on your the level from there. Right? I think, is that okay? We can do that?
Yeah, I think that is right. Himanshu ji is asking kitna sessions, kitna समय लगेगा इसको सीखने में. So Himanshu ji, हमारा target है 5 to 6 sessions, Suresh ji, right?
Yes, yeah. See, I'm telling you 100% that, okay, believe in yourself. I'm not saying something which I have experienced it. If you don't know, don't think that you do not know. You know it well. It's all about coming together and practicing it. It is there, you know it really well. सिर्फ practice की जरूरत है, only practice, that's it. When you start writing, until then you do not know really you can write this. And believe me, there is definitely one thing I would like to share with you. Writing a normal, common pen paper, let's say, okay, is completely different. And when you write with the cut pens, is completely different. Even if your handwriting is the worst, I'm telling you, my handwriting is completely worse when I write normal. But when I write with the cut pen, my writing is 200% better than what I write actually. Because this writing, when you write these letters this way, it is slow. It is not something that you can start writing and write bluntly, clearly, and go on writing. It's not like that. Here you have to actually hold your breath. When you make a stroke, you need to understand that, okay, how I'm writing, where I'm going. Unless you are fully with that, you cannot write. So you have to come together when you're writing this. That's all I will say. But it is there. You will do it and you can do it. There's nothing, let's say, which can hold you back. And it's not too difficult. It's all there. All you need is this opportunity and your time and your attention to that. I'm sure you will do it.
Thank you, Suriji. Thank you so much. We can
Thank
end
you
this
so much.
session here then. We'll meet next Sunday.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
See
Thank you,
you
everybody.
next Sunday.
Namaskar.